2, 1. Yo, yo, welcome in. I'm chilling in my tent right now out in Puna, East Hawaii, and I have internet. Shout out to mobile hotspot. Jeez. And however, the internet is not so amazing that we can upload massive files easily. So while I'm here, we're going to do gameplay replays instead of match plays. I'm going to play some matches and then we'll record after them. So today we're going to look at the green-red Marvel versus black-green matchup, and this is kind of why we're playing the deck, because it's supposed to have a decent matchup here. So let's go ahead and check it out. Welcome in. Much love. Trav here. I hope you're doing amazing. I hope you're doing awesome. And we have a deck tech on the deck, the green red marbles thing. So let's go ahead and check it out. So you have hands like this. Let's go ahead and get my screen out of the way. This appears to be a mulligan. Would anyone keep this hand? I wouldn't. Throw that back, and you have hands like these. Chandra is something that I don't really like. It's kind of a pet card by some of our players, and I want to get rid of it. It just seems to rot in hand. But you have games like these where you have Marvel. Black-green really can't do anything about it game one. They're not fast enough to kill you before it starts happening a lot, and they don't have Transgress the Mind in the main deck. This is what kept Black-green down at the Pro Tour was Marvel. So if you have a Marvel deck that can be decent against blue-white and the blue decks, then you have a very competitive deck, and that's something we'll be talking about later. But right, so we have turn 4 Marvel. Marvel is energy, tap, pay 6, and go nuts. Flip, and you'll see that, I mean, Marvel is less impressive in this deck, but it doesn't need to hit Ulamog immediately to win, right? In this case, we Marvel into an Ishkana, and that is just very good. We have gummed up the board, and if these die, we get energy back from it. So what's the opponent really going to do about it? On the other hand, their draw hasn't been super amazing of just Grasp Flare, but if they have a lot of removal in their deck, then what are they supposed to do? So another Marvel, start ramping, moving towards Chandra. We can cast Chandra next turn, um, and uh, or we can Emrakul, and at that point they send a message saying, "Boo, I needed you to whiff." Through another 36 cards. So let's go ahead to game 2 and show you guys here. And here's a game where I kept this hand. Should this have been a mulligan? Oh yeah, so for sideboarding, I brought in 4 tireless trackers so that we have creatures that draw cards, and I cut some other, I cut like, I think Cathartic Reunions. I trimmed a Harness Lightning or something. This hand is like 5 mana, so maybe I should have mulliganed it. But if they're playing Transgress, they can pick from our hand anyways. So we drew another land to start the game, and then a Mana Maker. The deck is a lot of mana, so it's hard to complain too much. And then another Mana Maker, and then go get a land, and then opponent a tracker, and then we draw another mana, and then we can start attacking the Liliana. And there's Anissa, and then we draw another Mana Maker, and we opponent's Lilianaing, Anissaing, and then we draw another mana, and then we go ahead and attack. We were able to kind of threaten the Planeswalkers a little bit. Opponent has an Ishkanah, then we draw a Puzzle Knot. I mean, this is an issue with the deck, and it's maybe why I should have mulliganed for gas, because, sometimes this happens, although this can theoretically happen to any deck, but it's a problem of ramp decks. It's just you play a lot of lands and draw another mana, and we have 1 turn to survive and chump block. And then we drew a Vessel, and we have 25 energy, but we drew another Vessel, and we don't have the mana to make it work. So that's what a loss looks like, is you just do nothing. Let's go ahead and check out game 3 here. And show y'all what this deck can do. So Tyro's Tracker is super bomb in this matchup because they're probably bringing out their grasps. Note that we're playing 2 Evolving Wilds, but I'm tempted to go to 3 or 4 because for interactions like this, where we go turn 3 Tracker, make 2 clues, this position feels very hard to lose, right, against green-black. It just feels very hard to lose. Opponent forces through a flare hit. They don't have removal for tracker, but we can do this. And look, we have mono lands again, but in this case, we're gonna win anyways because we have mono lands, like 5 lands in hand. But it doesn't matter because the opponent does not have enough pressure, and we'll be able to draw out of it with the clues this time around. So we drew an Emrakul, and we're not actually that far away from it happening. Like, it will happen this game. Especially with what we've drawn, we can throw down a Marvel or an Ishkana to block. The opponent transgresses, they take our Emrakul because they know that is 100% going to happen within a couple turns, and they don't have removal for tracker at this point. This thing is way too fucking big. They only have the 1 card and the Vessel back. This turn we could go for either the Marvel or the Ishkana. Both are pretty stupid. I like the Ishkana because we don't yet have the energy for Marvel, and we can set it up next turn. Maybe we should have got the Marvel down before a discard spell comes down, but it doesn't really matter too much because we are drawing stupid amounts of cards. So Marvel comes down, get the energy, Marvel into another Ishkana, get the energy, and how do you possibly lose at this point, especially with the clues coming down? There's a Nissa, and here we can go ahead and Marvel. Looks like I'm tapping and untapping my lands a whole lot. We can go grab an Emrakul, and we can actually cast the Emrakul, which is a better bet. Take the opponent's turn, and the opponent goes and finds an Emrakul of their own. So in this case, we just don't want the opponent to cast their Emrakul, so we want to make them lose their Quagmire in combat and boot up a land and make them lose that in combat. So in their extra turn, they will not be able to Emrakul back. Natural Slate, one of our clues. And I mean, the matchup is just, the matchup is favored because we have more Emrakuls and we have Marvel, and they just can't do too much about it. They could beat us if they really wanted to by boarding in Lost Legacy. Lost Legacy is conventionally not very good against these decks because we have Ulamog backup, but we don't have Ulamog backup, so Lost Legacy on Emrakul would actually bone us. So we made them make a terrible attack and lose everything, and that's it. They scooped. So that's the deck. Let's go ahead and load up the deck. Make sure to check out the deck tech. I hope that you found this useful and interesting, and I like this deck a lot. It matches up well versus black-green, and we'll be working on some other matchups. So it's also fun. So that's a big key. If you like this and you want to build better decks, there's a link below to a free workshop on how to build better decks, and there's also an ebook on that. So go check it out. Hope you find it interesting, and let me know what you think in the comments if you've tried this deck or if you've tried something like it. And I hope you have an awesome, awesome day. Take care. Much love. Speak with you soon.